Hello. Blast off. You were supposed to say blast off like you said before.
I didn't know if that was
you
my
weren't
improvise.
meant to say anything. You could say whatever you want, honestly, because this is a podcast. This is our
3, 2, 1, let you jam.
Podcast time. This is Blowing Bubbles. Welcome to Blowing Bubbles, the first official episode of Blowing Bubbles. I'm Kyle.
I'm Becca.
And we're the only two people that are involved in Popp Creative. Isn't that cool that the only two involved in Popp Creative are the ones surprisingly on this podcast that we just started right now? That's pretty cool, right?
But
we should get some crazy guests. Let's see if we can get Post Malone. Let's see if we can get Shakira. If we can get Shakira, that's it.
I would prefer Shania Twain.
Who the fuck is Shania Twain? Oh, wait, I know her. I know who Shania Twain is. Sorry. I know who Shania Twain is.
Yeah, we definitely just didn't get her.
So on this first episode, we're just chilling. It's just a nice Thursday night. It's beautiful out. It's nice and hot.
We're both in separate houses because A, quarantine, B,
no home.
No living together just yet. That could change.
Sooner or later, we'll be able to have our own place, have our own studio, have our lives together, feel like good about everything we're doing. Hey, we're in the adult phase. We got the jobs. We just need to progress further past that.
Exactly.
But for now, we're just relaxing. We're just enjoying our day. And we're just going to start a little podcast, find a little work to do. I'm currently doing some stuff for Popp while doing this podcast. Pretty cool, right? Honestly, I'm kind of talented. And today we're just going to do a couple of questions. We're not going to go crazy. We just want to tell everyone who we are and what we do and what's going on, and just to give a little in-depth feel of who we are. You know, that's just I want people to know the characters that are Becca and Kyle. I think that's the best choice. Because podcasts are really popping lately. They're really popping around. So we formed a couple of questions to ask one another, in a sense. And I'm not sure which one we want to start off with. Do you have a specific one that you think you want to dive on in? The one where we have to name 3 things is gonna take a little time.
You think that should be the first one?
Yeah.
All right.
Because then once we realize that we're taking up a lot of time, we can delve into the other questions.
Out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just get rid of the top. Your number
this
one.
Whole section out.
Okay. So I think about a good majority. How many questions do we have? 5? 6?
Yeah.
5. We have 5 questions. I came up with 4. Becca came up with 1. As a little game, let's see who can guess which one Beck came up with. All right. So let's ask this first question, and I want you to answer it first because I've been doing a lot of talking, and I need to refresh my mouth with some delicious H2O. So the first question we want to ask ourselves is 3 movies that influence us, or 3 movies. Let me ask you it. What are 3 movies that influence you? So we have our little notes of magic on us. So go ahead. I'll shut up for a minute. I've been talking way too much.
Well, my first.
Are these? This isn't in an order for you, is it? Mine isn't in an order. Mine is just 3 movies that influence me or describe me or have bettered me in whatever ideal.
Wow, you went way in depth.
Why? What did you choose? The Lion King?
I gotta change one now.
You have to change 3. Lion King 2.5 or whatever that one's called. Lion King 1.5.
And then the live action. Specifically when Beyonce is.
Nala. Is she Nala? Is Beyonce Nala?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now back to reality.
All 3 are Lion King. I'd shit my pants. I'd be like, I know nothing about you.
All right, so my first one I said was, it's kind of cliche, but I like the Dead Poets Society. I had seen it first in 10th grade. Shout out to Miss Youngkin for making us watch it.
She's watching this right now, actually. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to send this to her. But at the time, I didn't really appreciate the movie. And then it wasn't really until I watched it junior year of college that I really like found.
You resonated with it?
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. I like the idea of carpe diem. I like the message of live your own life. It's cliche, but I like the seize your day. It's something that I struggle to do. But I like the message that resonates about change your life for the better kind of thing. Yeah.
So that's you said you don't. These aren't numbered for you. This is just three grabbed out of a bin. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. In the 5 years that we've been together, I don't know how many times you've never brought up
I know.
Dead Poets Society. I think you're trying to
say. I thought you were gonna. You probably thought I was gonna say Shawshank Redemption.
It was a thought that I think you would have had on there because I feel like you would have said that it was like. Excuse me, I belch a lot. I thought it was going to be like that was kind of your like awakening into film, or like you realized that you liked film more than you actually noticed. You know what I mean? Because you've watched that movie, you love that movie a lot. So I thought, but that's crazy. I think I maybe heard you bring up that movie once before in 5 years.
And like I said, I didn't really appreciate it. In 9th grade, I was like, oh, this is just a video that my teacher's making us watch. Like, I don't understand.
You didn't understand it's like a classic, huge film.
I had caught it, I think, the summer going into my senior year. So, actually, junior year had just ended of college. And I caught it on TV, and I was like, oh, I really like this movie a lot.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting that. I feel like you because before we did this, I said to you that I feel like we would overlap at least 2 times.
Well, we're probably going to overlap right now.
Okay. Wait, hey, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh,
it's my turn.
I thought I was
No, you ain't going 3 in a row. Let me go now.
All right, go for it.
But I feel like you might have changed some stuff up because I said that the other day. I said that you were going to I said that we're going to overlap. Did you change stuff? Don't lie.
No, I haven't changed since we went over this.
Okay. All right. So I feel like you could right now guess 2 of mine. And I feel like those are the ones that one of them is one that you wouldn't choose and one of them is one that you would choose. Yes. Does that make any sense? And I'm going to choose the one that you wouldn't think of. Okay. I don't think you would think of. All right. My one of mine is the Warriors.
Ugh, I knew it.
I love the Warriors for some reason means so much because it wasn't a huge budget film. It was super like for some reason I always resonated with things where there's like camaraderie. Like when you see like a team of people and characters uniquely colored in their own fun character ways. You know what I mean? I always thrive on that. Like there's a bunch of video games and movies and TV shows where I enjoy seeing a cast of characters working together and trying to complete something or save the day. Or that's why I love The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. Like you have this colorful cast of characters that are always trying to prevail and move on. But this is such a cool twist on everything because it's like it's so weird. It's almost comedic with like the baseball Furies, the Warriors, the all the different gangs that are just like comically ridiculous, wearing paint on their face, wearing rollerblades. Like everyone it's just so ridiculous and fun and cool. And there's a lot of things where it's like, okay, this is cheesy as shit because it's from the 70s or whatever. 60? What is that movie from? That's gonna drive me nuts right now.
I think it's the 70s.
Yeah, 79. But no, I just loved everything about it. Like it also seems it is cheap because the the songs that they use in it, there's like a set list of royalty free songs that a lot of movies use, and they have that in. I think there's a Dawn of the Dead uses the same exact music as that film. But that's just, I just love every character, and I like know that I can name every single character, even the ones that they mentioned like once in the entire movie. I love the whole movie.
I hate watching it with you.
I know you do, but it's just such a cute, like, fun movie with just a cool cast and action and adventure and Cyrus. They shot Cyrus. All right, I'm gonna stop. Okay, go ahead. Second movie.
My second movie was Big Fish.
Okay.
And I think we're probably gonna overlap with that. But
why?
What?
Why? Tell me why you chose Big Fish.
Oh, because
that's one of mine as well.
Because big fish, small pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's a good. I don't know. There's just so much imagination and optimism in this movie, where even in like the worst situations, there was like adventure and
intrigue.
Living each day with an adventure. It's just something that, and I feel like every single time I watch it, I catch on to something new, and I've watched it like 5 or 6 times now. Like, it's just one of those movies that, in my opinion, will never get old.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, just simply because it holds so much like value, and it's just
it's a fantastic movie.
The whole meaning behind it is like to live a more fulfilling life filled with the people you love and adventures with them.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's about being imaginative. Like,
right.
It's such a Disney film without being a Disney film.
Right.
It's Tim Burton's crazy magical mind. I'm assuming it was a book beforehand. I'm not even actually sure if it was a novel before the film.
Right.
But it's a big fish. It's saying the larger than life situation. You know what I mean? And that's right. the sense of a tall tale, and it's just such a beautiful situation. And I think it has the qualities of like the best movies. Like, that's why there's reasons why people love Star Wars. It's like, it has a Western, it has sci-fi, it has an adventure, it has action, it has drama, it has romance, it has horror, it has so many elements within it. And I think Big Fish has a lot of those elements as well. There's adventure, there's drama, there's romance, there's just so many layers to it. And I know that's a basis to, like, that's just a basic way of saying what Big Fish is, but it's such a great movie that, like, it felt like there was chapter. You know how, like, Quentin Tarantino, he makes movies in chapters, so it feels like it's longer and feels like it's more of a huge bombastic story. Well, there feels like and he actually, like, writes like chapter 3, chapter 2, chapter 1 in his movies. But it does the same sense, but it doesn't even really need to say that it's a chapter. Like, there's like, and they do it by.
I was just gonna say, you can tell. Well, they do it by different frames in his life. And that's
different
like
flashbacks.
Each chapter of his life, basically.
But the flashbacks aren't even 100% real.
Right.
It's just kind of like his imagination going on and telling the tall tale and changing the story every once in a while.
And
it's such a beautiful thing.
That feeling that you get, and I still get it every single time, even though I know what happens, that feeling that you get at the end, spoilers, when you realize that, like, all of his stories were in a way true.
Slightly true.
It just makes you feel so good inside.
Well, it's like the one, that's just the beautiful thing about I think because I'm a huge in thematics and themes and allegorical statements and metaphors and blah, 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 blah. But I love that in the end, he doesn't die, you know? And when he dies, you learn the truth. You figure out that the giant really wasn't that big. He was a big guy, but not a giant. He wasn't huge. Right. He wasn't eating sheep. He was just a big guy.
The twins weren't attached to each other.
Yeah, they weren't attached to each other. It was just and in the end, when he dies, he doesn't die, and then the truth comes out. The son goes on to tell his son
Yeah.
the tall tale that his father said. He didn't tell his son the story of who his actual father was, because that's not as entertaining. That's not as beautiful. Maybe one day he will, but when you're young, why would you spoil it, you know?
And I think that's another thing about it, is just those young, imaginative stories that is just so wonderful about it. It's just such a good movie, and I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, it's such a creative, fun film.
Like the first time we had watched it, I was like, oh, what is this? Because the first movie you had me watch was Warriors, so I was like setting myself up to watch something bad, and it blew me away, and it's continued to be one of my favorites to this day.
And it was our first year together too, watching that, and it was just it was very wholesome. It was just a very wholesome situation. All right, wow, okay. So if I honestly didn't think you were gonna put Big Fish on there.
Oh, really? Did you put Big Fish?
Yeah, I put Big Fish.
Yeah.
That's why I've been talking about it with you. I wouldn't have said shit if you.
I don't know. Maybe you were just.
No, I had Big Fish on there. All right, so you go again.
And my last one to call up my Disney fans.
Oh, okay.
Is my girl Princess and the Frog.
Are you serious?
I love this movie so very much. Well, for the big reason of this was Disney's first black princess, and she was just and they didn't even like focus on that. It was just that she was the perfect role model for young girls, because she had all these dreams and aspirations, and she worked hard for them, and she didn't, even though everybody around her was saying no, this isn't gonna work out, she was like, JK, it is. I just liked that, and I love her, and I love her character, and yeah, she's just amazing.
So it was more of the
I love her character.
Yeah, more of the reasoning.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not like it was beautifully animated. You just love the.
But
you just love the character
so much because of that. She's not like.
What's the character's name?
Tiana.
Okay.
And she's not really a princess technically until the end when she marries Naveen. Spoiler again. But I don't know. She's just she's very ambitious, and she has goals. She doesn't let anybody steer away from that, which is something that's wonderful for young girls to hear. You know, and that's one of the reasons I like her. And then I don't know, the whole, I don't know if you've ever heard the quote, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince kind of thing, but they didn't push that, except for the fact that like she, like the relationship between her and Naveen is so interesting too, because they kind of complement each other in a way.
Okay.
Even though he was like very selfish and self-centered at first, in the end he is okay with stepping back so that she can carry out her dream.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just love the movie so much, and I don't know if I'm just rambling on or not, but I just love, I love Disney. B, I think they did her so much justice. And C, I like her. I like her character, and I like what she stands for young girls watching it.
No, I haven't seen a lot of the Disney princess movies. I've seen Beauty and the Beast and like bits and pieces of The Little Mermaid. That's it.
Right. Holy cow.
Is she like being like the strong female character? Is Naveen?
Yeah, he's the prince.
Is he like, he's a frog, right?
Yeah, so he gets turned into a frog
Yeah, but like through the whole movie, he's a frog, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's kind of like weak in comparison to her, who's like a human.
Well, but because she turns into a frog because when he asks, she's dressed up as a princess for a Halloween ball and or party or whatever, and he thinks she's an actual princess, so he asks her to kiss him. And then when she kisses him, since she's not a princess, he doesn't turn back into a prince, and she turns into a frog.
Wait, this whole movie, she's a frog?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, and then they have to go find the voodoo lady to help them break the curse.
I just know the villain's cool. He seems like a cool character. I know his like once I can't think of it on the top of my head, but it's like I know like the wallpaper's moving and he's in his house. He's got like enchanters. He's like an alchemist and voodoo magician or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've seen of it and what you've told me, it's great. We just never turned it on. I don't know why. Is it on Disney Plus?
I think so. It's just you have so many Disney movies to catch up on because you were not a Disney kid.
I watched Disney movies because I loved Pixar.
Right, you're a Pixar kid. If you're gonna be a Disney kid, you're gonna be a Pixar more than Disney.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, what's Wreck-It Ralph's Disney, right?
I think it's Pixar.
Oh, it is. What's Big Hero 6?
Pixar.
Is it?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I gotta look that up.
I'm looking it up right now.
What are you looking up? Big Hero 6 or Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh no, Big Hero 6 is just Disney.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is Disney too. Gotcha, sucker. Woo! So you know more about Disney than I do. I like those two.
You know what is Pixar? Cars.
Yeah? What do you think of Cars? Okay, so my number 3 is Cars.
No, what's your number 3?
This is where I thought we were going to overlap. Guess.
Lord of the Rings.
No, what? We're going to overlap. You don't like Lord of the Rings as much as I do. I mean, you kind of.
A Hobbit?
It. No. Honey, I said that we'd overlap.
I don't know.
I said Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, see, and I wasn't sure because I was going to do Howl's Moving Castle, but I was like, is that an anime or is that a movie?
You just chose Tiana's. Tiana freaking the Princess of the Frog.
No, but she's okay, I guess you're right. Well, because I was like, I'm going to save my Howl's Moving Castle if we ever do like an anime. Because I don't want people to know just how obsessed I am.
That's crazy that we both chose 2 actor movies and then 1 animation.
And then an animated.
That's weird. But I don't know. I could speak for hours about Howl's Moving Castle. I love
because it's a masterpiece.
Everything about it. I still think, and I need to. I know everyone says Spirited Away is the best, and it has the most awards. It has a Golden Globe. It's very, very, very amazing. But I still just don't think it's as good as Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle has this like way of entrancing you into the world so naturally. Like it doesn't seem forced or rushed. Like when I think of Spirited Away, she's just thrown into it immediately and it feels pretty rushed. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Like when you're in Howl's Moving Castle, you have no idea what witches and wizards are, and they kind of just slowly bring you into this world. It's like Sophie's sitting in with her sister, and she's like, you got to be careful or he'll eat your heart. You know what I mean? Something like that. And you're like, what does that mean? You're like, and it's just slow. It's a slow build.
There's so many like twists and turns through it too.
Yeah, it's just that they have a great thematic to it. Sophie's one of my favorite female leads in anything. She probably is my favorite female lead in anything. I just love that character. She's strong and doesn't even know she's strong, you know, and that's just amazing about her until the end where she realizes that she's a strong character, stronger than Howl. It's just such a cool piece. The art is stunning. Every scene is, you can take a screenshot and then make it your background. It's just amazing. The cast is just all over. You have the Witch of the West, who's this freaking large Witch of the West, Wicked Witch of the Waste, who's this large freaking big old witch woman, who then turns into this old decrepit hag. Then you have Howl, who's this like feminine, majestic man. Then you have Sophie, who's an insecure girl that turns into an old woman and then becomes secure in herself. Then there's freaking Markle, who's a little kid who's trying to become a wizard. There's a fire that talks.
Probably one of the strongest characters, even though he's a child.
Yeah, and then there's Calcifer, who's just such a cool demon fire thing. I don't even know, and it doesn't. It's just
end. Yeah, I was just gonna say that the movie is so enticing through the whole thing that you just feel like you're on the ride, like everything just, you're confused all at once, and then at one point everything just lines up, and it's so beautifully done. And the book is really good too.
And that I loved showing you that movie too, because like the way I felt about that movie and the way it like pulls you in, and you just like you feel overwhelmed with it's so stupid to say, but like beauty. You're like overwhelmed with beauty of the whole show or the whole movie. I felt like I saw you experience the exact same thing, where it's just because I know you're already a Disney girl,
and it's so perfectly like close to Disney, like yeah, it's just it's beautiful.
I just think that Sophie and Howl are just such a cool combination of characters, and the art is just amazing.
I was going to say the art, the characters, the music, everything is just...
And it kind of just made me, I think it was a thing that kind of sparked more creativity in me too, especially once it was more at my disposal to watch, because I watched it illegally at first. And then we got the movie and I watched it a bunch of times, and it like sparked like a new creativity in me, like I was doing more 3D modeling and creating actual animations and stuff like that. And it was just cool. It was just a great movie, and it still stands to one of my favorite movies of all time. Wow. All right. Wow.
That wasn't so bad.
My head is like, I feel the blood and the what is it called? The energy run into my head.
Adrenaline?
Yeah, adrenaline. Whew. Okay. All right. Wow. That question's done.
The next question?
Go for it.
All right. If you can teleport to one place right now, where would you go?
Okay, go for it.
Wait, you want me to? You have to answer. Yeah, okay. I mean, I
just talked my head off. Yeah. That's why I wanted you to talk. All right, I'll go ahead though. That's fine. It's of course Japan. I want to go to Japan so bad.
Man.
What?
I was gonna say Japan, but I think
you want to go to Ireland and freaking Wales and.
I do not want to go to Wales. I want to go to. No. I want to go to New Zealand.
Oh, you want to go to New Zealand?
Yeah.
I'll go to New Zealand too. But my first choice, if I could just teleport there now, would be Japan. Just because
I think the only reason that I would want to go to Japan right now is because all you do is watch Shout Out to Paulo from Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You can't stop watching Paulo. Yeah. I can't stop watching Paulo. I've watched all of his like, the day in the lives. I love those so much. I watched a good amount of his food things. I watched every single top 10 tips to do in Shinjuku, Shibuya, Roppongi, just like all the districts.
I watch like it 3 more times just to show me.
Yeah. I do that so much though with so many things. Like I'll watch something and then watch it 3 more times with someone else. But I really just want to go to. I just want to experience everything in Japan. I want to experience it because, like, in America,
I think too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think.
Go ahead.
No, go.
In America, like, I don't get to experience a lot of cultures and stuff like that. Like, of course, you experience the American culture, which is, in sometimes, I mean, right now it's kind of crazy, but at times it's kind of a beautiful thing in its own sense. But I just want to experience something else. Like one day, maybe stay in Egypt for a week, experience that because it's supposedly hell, but still I'd be interested to learn a little about that area and that. I don't know why I chose Egypt. There's so many other places I'd go before Egypt, but I don't know why. I like Egyptian stuff. But like go to like Ireland or New Zealand, like you said, or
I would love to just
Germany.
Stay in like Italy and then like take a train to Paris. I'm probably saying it wrong, but take a train to Paris or take a boat to whatever, like that would be so cool. But
a lot of people do that.
That's what I was gonna say. Like they go to Europe for like a week, and each day is like travel to a new place, which is cool. But I think I don't know. I would like to go. I mean, obviously, I would love to go to Japan too, but I would like to go to like somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, Europe is just, it has such beautiful architecture and beautiful food and
I love the feel of Ireland. I love that whole damp, cold, all year round. Like that
raining 24/7, as people say. England
to me. I'd love to go to New Zealand. That's where The Hobbit was filmed, right?
And The Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure if entirely The Hobbit was filmed.
Like I would like to see. I feel like anywhere that like Game of Thrones was filmed, I would love to be right now.
They were all over the country. I mean, the world, the country.
Yeah, but it's.
But Japan. Why do you want to? Why do you want to go to Japan? Because I want to go for the culture. I want to enjoy the food. I want to see the people. I want to experience. I want to experience everything there. I want to experience how they deal with a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
She keeps cutting me off.
I know. I just am so excited to answer this question because I know.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to lose it if I can't. I would like to see, now you made me lose my train of thought.
I was just about to cut you off.
But no, I would just like to experience the food because it looks incredible. And like you said, the culture, I think there's just so many.
I mean, how would you define the culture? Because I'm saying, like, I'd want to go to, like, I want to see the stores.
I follow this girl on TikTok, and her name is, I don't even know her. This is terrible. I don't know her name or anything, but she lives in Japan right now. She's from America, but she lives in Japan right now with her husband and her dog, but that's not important. And everything about her videos.
Dogs are important,
she posts. Well, yeah, of course. But
anything she posts,
anything she posts just is stunning and so unique. Like just the simplistic thing of the grocery store is so completely different. And it's just the city.
By the way, I'm primarily talking about Tokyo. I want to go to Tokyo.
Yeah, I don't know where in Japan she lives.
Is she like suburbs or is she like?
I think so, yeah.
Because that's a beauty that a lot of people that like, because like most of the time people that are really interested in Japan are usually weebs. Like you're gonna find a lot of weebs that.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like I don't know if this is the right or wrong thing to say, but I would love to just feel the aesthetic of. Like, like looking at anime foods and things like that, and like just looking. And when you watch an anime, seeing like that aesthetic, I would love to be immersed into that aesthetic. Like that's why I would like to go to Japan. And of course, I would like to see how you react when we're in Japan because I think you'll be in complete like shock, like culture shock.
I think there's a lot of stuff that I'm excited for. I want to go down. I can't. I'm blanking right now. See, when you watch, I watched anime and I loved it. At first, I didn't like it. I was like, and then I started loving it. And I'm not crazy. I don't watch an insane amount of different shows. I watch the best. Like the ones that people highly recommend. I don't go super far into the ones that like are like not even brought up ever. But once watching that, I kind of looked into the culture and I read more about it. I went on Wikipedia, read more about it. I watched videos on YouTube about the culture and the way things work. And I'm just very interested in seeing it firsthand. It's such a beautiful to go into Tokyo, go to Shibuya, go to freaking Shinjuku. I want to see that the crosswalk where 4,000 people pass every day. I mean, that probably isn't happening anymore because of Corona, but maybe in the year. But still, I think there's so much shit that I just want to see in the world, but that's top tier. I want to experience that. I want to go to every cafe and I want to just see as much as I can and learn the language a little more because I'm really bad at learning languages, and I'd really like to learn to speak somewhat Japanese. All right, well, I'm surprised that we both decided to teleport to Japan. But I'm happy. I'm not. I'm happy that you. I'm not happy that I changed your opinion. I mean, did I? I don't. No. I hope I didn't entirely change.
No, and I mean, like I said, I would still. I mean, it's cliche. Everybody wants to go to Europe because Europe's so beautiful. But I think I know that I would enjoy Japan. So I know that.
I feel like I don't know what to, because the gamble of Tokyo, there is really no gamble of Tokyo. You just go there and there's everything's there and it's cool. But like I don't know because I just don't look it up because I don't care that much about going to Europe. I mean, I'm interested in going eventually, but once I'm older, I'll probably get a little more interested. But I think Tokyo is just like everything's there, and it's such a cool culture to begin with, and cool lifestyle that they live there, that I would be like hopping on that immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's also I was looking this up the other day. I was looking at oh my god, Amtrak. Is that what it's called? Amtrak.
Yeah. Is that like
the train?
The train, yeah.
Amtrak. Yeah, I was looking at Amtrak. Do you know how cheap it is to get a ticket from here to Disney?
How cheap?
Guess. I want to see you guess, because I didn't know traveling was this cheap.
Like 100?
Around there. It was like 184.
Huh.
Dude, I was expecting like $400 for a train from here to freaking. I was like, holy crap! You're telling me I don't have to put the pedal to the metal all the way down to Florida for only $184? That's crazy.
That'd be cool though to go like on a train. Just
because I can look around. I can check out everything. We're cruising. We'll have those seats, and we'll have to sit in them for like 21 hours.
Depends. You can get ones that like.
Yeah, but that's $500, and that's the budget for Disney. So we'll drive to Orlando and come back. Or take the train to Orlando. But that's just something I want to do. Like, I want to get on a train and just go, because trains are cool as shit to begin with. There's no train accidents.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Snowpiercer for one of your movies.
That's a good, because like we chose a movie for like. The movies I chose were ones that influenced me and made me, I feel, made me a better person. But Snowpiercer was just a good movie. You know, it was just a really, really cool movie.
It's hard too to pick because in my eyes, it's such a big part of your life. So I was like, I wonder what he's gonna pick. It's gonna be hard.
What movies?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't care that much. Like, I just chose movies that came in my head, and I was like, yeah, that's it. You know, like I was gonna be like choosing the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, even though I love that movie, I was gonna choose it because I know it's not like something I would turn on every day. I've watched it like 3 times though, or 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Even though it's like a freaking 4-hour long movie. But yeah, I think Japan is my number 1 destination to teleport. All right, you ready for the next question? What's one field you're interested in learning?
Painting, I think.
Okay.
Like the fine arts of painting, because I paint right now, but it's not anything to write home about.
Mm-hmm. You're good though.
I mean, I'm good in the way that like I look at somebody else's, I look at another thing, I look at a couple more things, and then I combine them all together and add my own little twist.
But that perspective is exactly what you need to have, because that's how every artist formulates whatever they're doing. You know, they look at something, copy it until it becomes your own.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that.
If you just keep doing that, you're probably once you're comfortable with picking up a paintbrush and nonchalantly doing something, you'll just feel good about it. And whatever's going on in your head, just paint it.
Yeah. And that's where I want to be. I want to be able to just pick up the paint. I just want to be able to be like, yeah, you know what? I just want to do a watercolor of a flower or something real quick.
You have good like brush control, because that's what I don't have. Like, I can't control the brush. Like, I feel like I'm just like a ogre painting. You know, I can't. I can't.
Well, I got little nimble hands, so that
I know you do.
Helps out.
You're like a little ninja.
And I also get thin brushes so that I can keep it together. And but like that's the thing too, is like we talk about this all the time with like animation and like design and things like that. I want to work on like shading and highlighting and things like that, because I understand how to do that with graphic design and motion graphics and things like that, but I don't
know how to translate that to actual physical stuff. Yeah. That's, you know, that's
and I can
cool.
I can kill it when it's a cartoon character or something. Like I can paint Hal from Howl's Moving Castle, like it's not a big deal. But the moment it's like something real, like you want me to paint a picture of your dog or something, I'm out.
And is it going to happen? Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen. It could happen. It's just I don't really know if it's going to look like him or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you just got to. It's such a stupid thing to say because everyone says it about any skill that you're learning. You just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that is deterring from painting is, in my opinion, what I would see is buying the canvases and paint and stuff. You know, like keep resupplying yourself. I would see it as a pain. I mean, I'm such a frugal.
And I use like multimedia paper too, so that's always. But like I said, I don't do it as much as I would like to, and if I did it more, it could be something great.
Well, set a goal for yourself, you know, like how you know, I'm not forcing you to do anything. Just like, I think that's a good thing to if you actually really want to do it, set a goal for yourself. In the next year, buy a couple canvases and just keep going at it, you know, even if you throw away the canvases, there's nothing wrong with failing it, throwing it away and doing it again.
What's yours?
Huh?
What's yours?
Yeah. Okay. So at first, I said animation because I wanted to learn animation more, but I kind of already have a grasp of how it works. You know, like I know bend and bounce. I know the basics. You know, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to do that because I kind of already get it. Mm-hmm. So and it's funny that you said painting because I want to kind of learn woodworking.
What? That's so cool.
I think I don't have any hands. I don't have any hands-on hobbies besides computer stuff. I like doing graphic design. I like doing motion graphics. I like doing 3D modeling. I like to do illustrations. I don't do anything with my damn hands besides a mouse and a keyboard, you know?
Right.
So I'd like to find something that's a little more hands-on, and it makes me, and it's just something I've been always interested in. I think it's just a cool craft.
That would be so cool. Now, woodworking, are you thinking about like wood, like burning, you know, like any burn sort of pen, or would you like carve the wood?
I think I would rather carve the wood and do actual carpentry in a sense, you know? And figure out how to do a lot more stuff than that. That's like a one of the big things I want to learn. But
I feel like I'm learning about you with the listeners.
Well, it's just something. Yeah, I never brought it up because I've always wanted to learn it. And like I always thought, because your uncle, he does woodwork, and I always thought it was cool.
Both my uncles do. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of Pete. You know, I wasn't thinking of anyone else, but. And I see his craft, and it's awesome. And I think it's just something that's probably really therapeutic and calming to him, you know? And I just want, and when I make a video, you know, I'm wondering what the difference is, you know, because when I make a video and I edit a video and I'm done with a video, or I edit a graphic and I'm done with the graphic, I get satisfaction. I really don't get tranquility, you know, like I don't get a euphoric sense of, pleasure.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, we've been doing so much of that, the media end, because like it's our jobs and things and school, and it's so it's become kind of like a mechanical thing. I mean, we still have like the passion for it and the drive for it, and we love it, but sometimes you just want something that you can hold in your hand and be like, wow, like this is so incredible. I made this, you know? Mm-hmm. Like,
I think that's like a sense you get from like landscaping and stuff like that, like gardening, because your father gardens. And that's one thing that's really sparked that in me recently, is to see him garden. And I'm like, I just need something to do. Right. Besides what I do.
And it's funny too, because with the quarantine and stuff, I started just like picking up paintbrushes and painting, and
Mhm.
I've started picking up polymer clay and making little figurines and stuff, and I make them, and then I bake them, and I give them to people, and there's so much joy in handing something that you created off to somebody that they love.
Uh-huh.
You know, like that's just, there's something very rewarding about doing something that you put your heart and soul in, and knowing that it's
That you get a return
good.
out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, that's good. At least you're making people happy, you know. That's all you got to do. If
Right.
you're making someone happy, you're getting yourself happy. There's no losing.
Right.
You know, that's just the formula that everyone on Earth should stand by, but everyone's a big pile of shit and won't.
Yeah, well, that's life.
Eventually they will, you know. Eventually someone will. People will. But all right, next question.
All right.
Next question, teacher.
To kind of go along on that, what is your favorite hobby in the past 5 years? 5 years, that means we've been together.
Yeah, that's why I chose it. Chose 5 years. I was going to say 10 years,
that.
Or 2 years, but
10 years, 10 years, I was like, oh my God, 10 years, I was 12 years old. No, I was 13. I was going to say I was like 8. Here I am thinking I'm 18, and I'm like a lot older than I actually am. All right, 5
you want
years.
me?
Yeah.
3D modeling.
Mm.
That's just something that I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask. You started that like our senior year of college, right? It wasn't like you had done anything else.
Yeah, it was second semester, senior year, when I went full throttle, basically. Like during December of that year, I was kind of you know.
Yeah.
December 2018.
18.
I wasn't really into. I was into it, but I wasn't into actually doing it. But then something. It was probably when I got the internship. You weren't around as much, you know, and I was kind of just on my own.
Yeah.
We lost
something
Tyler.
You need to.
Well, Tyler's alive. He just left the building, the apartment.
To fill in the blanks, his roommate left.
Yeah.
One of his really good friends moved away. So.
Yeah, and it was just me, Roy, and Anthony.
There was like a lack of camaraderie.
We still
in
hung
every
out.
aspect.
Yeah, we still hung out, but
yeah.
I was gone for hours a day. You know, I was gone from 9 to 5 every day.
Hey, like Dolly said, you got to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think I just had time. I had the time and I had the resources because I just got that desktop, which was great because Christopher gave that to me and saved my ass. And I would just sit there and just learn. Like I would watch Oni Plays Oni Plays, and he's into. It was weird because like I kind of got into it when he got into it, and I just started doing it, and I was decently good. The first model I made was good. You know, it was a pretty solid model. It was just that guy with the big nose and the big mustache, and it turned out decent. And the next one was that like little Asian cute guy I made with the little red cap, and then I just kept going and going. And the next one was a mushroom, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I just slowly started doing it more and more. And it was fun for me. I just added up a collection.
I loved coming over and seeing what's the latest 3D model Kyle's doing.
But before I was going to say animation, and Blender had that update, which was great, and I learned kind of how to animate in Blender, you know, and I did that cute little wizard animation, and it fell through. And I think this is kind of just like I'm hoping to be a thing that will make me spark in creating more, you know, because it's not like I just backed out on it. Like I was making something a week ago, you know, but I'm just not doing it as frequent as I would like, you know. And it's such a great. I kind of think I get the same sensation that you do with like crafting an actual thing, you know. And I maybe that's what's bleeding into me wanting to do some sort of physical hands-on thing like carpentry, because I'm modeling certain things, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know, because when you're editing a video or graphic, it's so 2D. You know, it's such a flat surface thing. It sounds so stupid because of course it is. But when you're actually modeling a 3D surface.
Kyle.
Yeah.
It's on the computer. Duh.
But when you actually feel editing, like when you're in Blender, it feels like you can like put your head into the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there. It's a 3D model. It's there, and
you can place it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that hobby has definitely bettered me and made me feel more proud in like the creativity that I have. Right, gloating myself, but It sparked something in me, you know. Like I was kicking ass with that for a while, for 5 months basically, while I was interning the entire time.
And I was just gonna say that. I mean, it's just you could see this. It was like literally just like sparking a fireplace.
I think I felt like a glow in my life.
Yeah, it was. Not saying that you don't have that glow still, but it was something.
I'm glowing. Hey. Yeah. I'm glowing.
I know.
I'm glowing right now.
But it's something that that I could see brought a lot of joy to you because, and I feel like this, especially with animation, it's something that you can just continue to add on, you know, like it's an always learning thing, you know, because I mean, look at any animation and animators in the real world. I'm going to always use Disney as an example, but they've only gotten better and better with each Pixar movie, you know? So it's like, what else can we do?
That's like some of the most fascinating stuff, especially with Pixar, because they're like the revolutionaries of 3D modeling, you know, and 3D stuff like that. So like seeing Bugs Life to Monsters Inc. such a huge upgrade from Bugs Life to Monsters Inc. Right. I'm not entirely sure, but I would imagine. I have no clue, but I would love to see a behind the scenes thing of Bugs Life. But I would imagine that Bugs Life had a lot of ants because the 3D models are just stick figures, basically. You know, so it's not very difficult to mess up the meshing of the character. You know, so maybe that's a big reason why they did that. I'm not sure. That's just a theory, a literal theory.
I can't follow along with that because I have no idea what you're talking about. But stay tuned for when you make a podcast of you just talking geek.
3D modeling. Just call me a geek. Call our fan base a geek. My grandma is not a geek, dude. She's watching this right now. All right, go ahead. Tell me about. Whoa! I almost fell backwards. Tell me about your favorite hobby in the past 5 years.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would say everybody could guess this, but I just love photography so much.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting crafting.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Well, but crafting, I always love that, but no, I just think in the past 5 years, I think there's been a huge change in my photography, my style, my techniques.
Huh?
I think in the last 5 years, I took a step back and figured out who I was as a photographer, what my styles were, what I like to take pictures of. It's something that has been a creative outlet for me. Just in general, my family probably hates me when I tell my sisters go put on a cute outfit so I could take pictures of you. And then I end up manipulating them into an undersea thing.
Let's say convincing. Oh, okay. Okay, convincing. I mean, under the sea. You're talking about you're editing a photo.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like.
No, I don't manipulate them.
She was making a manipulated photo. The photo was manipulated. She wasn't manipulating her family.
That's what you think. But yeah, and
I'm happy that's your favorite hobby in the past 5 years.
I love taking photos. I love taking photos of food. I love taking photos of product. I'm not a big fan of taking pictures of people, but I don't mind doing it.
You get some cool creative ones out of that.
Yeah, I mean...
You dumped me in milk once. That worked. That was pretty cool. Yeah, those photos are actually pretty dope, honestly. Whatever UTI they gave me, it was totally worth it.
You did not get a UTI.
I was convinced for like a couple days that I had a UTI.
Oh, shut up.
My pee hurt, dude.
It's just... It's just, if you've ever seen any like maternity photo shoot with the woman in the bathtub with the flowers, that's what Kyle's talking about. And I took pictures of him in a milk bath in our small little college apartment.
In the tub. The tub is literally probably 5 feet, and I'm 6'4".
And he's like a pretzel in there. I'm getting shots of him, and my roommate's holding a light over top, so because the lighting in the bathroom was so horrible.
I probably look disgusting.
Yeah, but you would never know from the pictures.
Yeah, the photo looks great, but like the rest of my body, I was wearing like underwear that was like milk soggy.
Yeah,
and I was like curled up. My legs and arms were scrunched.
And I love taking photos like that where it's something that somebody already did and taking a unique spin on it, taking it into Photoshop and making a photo manipulation out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Something where you're swimming with koi fish or something like that, just...
Mm-hmm.
Or a picture of my sister in the snow in a prom dress, and I take it into Photoshop and I put a door in front of her leading out into a different world.
Mm-hmm.
Something out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing the photo manipulations, but I also love just doing just the regular photos and not manipulating them. And there's no greater joy than taking a photo and putting it and then seeing it on your computer and being like, I don't need to edit this at all. It's absolutely perfect. Like, that is the best feeling. And it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's like, oh yeah, I like that a lot.
Now, what I was saying before, how like, how, because like photography is different from sitting on a computer and editing all day.
Yeah.
It's you're in the same field, but it's not like you're just sitting down doing stuff. It's a lot of interactivity. You're doing a lot more. Do you get the satisfaction that you get from making, say, you make a polymer clay item, compared to taking a photo, going into to editing it, and then being done? Is that because like how I was saying, how if you edit a video all day, you're kind of you get this feeling instead of like during the whole time you're getting a euphoric sense. I'm not getting a euphoric sense while I'm editing a video most of the time. It's every once in a while. Do you get that kind of thing?
It really depends on A, the subject, B, how the photos turned out. Like, if it's like something I really just didn't want to take a picture of, I just kind of had to do it just... Like, I don't know, sometimes I get really nervous. All the time, actually. I get nervous taking pictures of people. I'm just a very awkward person. I don't know how to pose people. If people don't know how to pose themselves, it's just very hard for me.
You don't like barking orders at people.
Right? Yeah. Like, it's just not something I want to do. Like, I don't want to be like, pose like this, do this. And like, there's obviously ways to work around it and stuff. And if I truly wanted to take pictures of people, I would learn that, but it's not something I'm really into. I mean, I'll do it.
So do you get a satisfactory thing from, not satisfactory, but a pleasurable experience during the whole time you're taking photos?
Oh, 110 million %. Okay. I love when, like, the subject, like, say it's, like, food or something, and it's just, like, a plain old burger. Like, I love the feeling of taking a phenomenal picture of it and people looking at it and being like, oh my God, that burger looks delicious. Like,
like on social media, you're saying, when you post it on social media, or whatever platform,
or whatever. If somebody just is looking
behind your
over my shoulder, kind of thing, like, I love that feeling, and I like the feeling of having that control to take that to take this thing that's just something we always see. It's just a cheeseburger.
Or capturing the essence of what it truly can be.
Or just like, oh, it's just a pair of earrings or whatever. Like, taking that pair of earrings and putting it into an environment that's either just staged, like a stage shot or something, and just making it, or taking it out into just any kind of shot. I love that feeling of taking that picture. And at the time, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I got a single good shot. And then you put it into the computer and it's amazing. And you're like, oh my God, I'm doing everything in my life right. That's just how I feel.
It's kind of weird how we both paralleled a little bit with what one field we're interested in learning. You know, like you want to take a photo. You took your favorite hobby in the past 5 years is photography.
Right.
And painting is kind of a parallel to that, you know. It's kind of like a side-by-side thing. It's a flat surface. It's an image you're trying to portray. Right. You're trying to communicate with the viewer the same thing that you're trying to communicate something.
And I've always considered I've always considered myself like a creative individual in like the media aspect, but I've never considered myself to be a creative individual in the fine arts.
Yeah.
Which is something that I would like to be able to do. You know?
But I think that's just crazy that, I mean, it's easy to see the connections, right? Like me, my favorite hobby in the past 5 years was 3D modeling, but then I want to move into sculpting, like literal sculpting. You want to do
something that's 3D in the real world.
Yeah, I think that's just cool. An interesting thing about humans or whoever we are, you know. By the way, I'm Kyle. That's Becca. And
we already established that.
I know. I'm just being a goof. If anyone's tuning in, but yeah, I don't know. That's just an interesting thing. All right, are we on to our last question, huh?
Yeah, we are.
The big daddy of questions, the best question of them all. The question that'll rain hellfire on the earth. I'm going to say it because I want you to answer first because this is yours.
I thought we were going to have them guess.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, come on.
Surprised. Mine.
What meme describes yourself?
All right, this is easy. You know that sponge, and this is crazy too because I never even. Yes, it is.
Okay.
For somebody who follows so many meme accounts.
I don't go by the rules of this question, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can think of one or find one.
My favorite, one meme that I think describes my life is the meme, and I never watched SpongeBob as a kid, but the meme of Mr. Krabs where it's him and everything around him is blurred. Oh, I relate to that so much because
I mean, like the motion, like it looks like it's like there's like an earthquake basically.
Yeah. And he's like, "What's going on?" Like that's me in every situation of life because I always feel like I'm very much in my head a lot. So I always feel like everything is moving around and I can't figure anything out, but somehow I always make it out okay. And that's how that meme relates to my life.
All right, you want me to go?
And what's yours?
All right, so I didn't go by the describe yourself at all. I kind of just went with ones that I really, 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 really like. And of the
it
past,
better not be that. But a minute,
Let me write that down in my notes. I wish it was.
Oh my gosh!
Fuck! I should have fucking had the Yee monster as one. Damn it! All right, whatever.
You have more than one?
I have two. All right, so the one I really like recently is the it's kind of a dead meme right now, but I just loved it so much at the time. It's the Dorime mouse where he's wearing a little Pope outfit.
Oh!
And he goes, Dorime, ramba blah 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 Dorime. And he's just standing there T-posing. I don't know why. That one kills me. Like, it's like that meme that, like, you could pop open at any time. Well, actually, no, and not at any time. Specifically at 3:04 a.m. in the morning. If you pop it open at that time, you're going to fucking lose your goddamn mind. You're just going to die. Because it's just so stupid.
Here's your reminder to watch that meme at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, just look up Dorime Mouse Pope, and then you'll find it anywhere. He's wearing a cute little Pope outfit. He's a mouse. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. It's just the best thing. I mean, I think, okay, maybe this does describe myself because it's so fucking stupid that I like it, you know? Like, maybe I'm just an idiot that likes little mice dressed as Pope and the stupid fucking songs
It's like
sung
the
in,
stupid...
I don't know what language. It's like Hebrew or some shit.
Oh, Lord.
I have no idea what it's in. I'm actually really curious. I'm going to look it up right now.
All right, but...
What? I can't sing the song right now?
No, what's your other one?
Well, give me a sec. I got to sing the whole song first.
No.
What is this song? All right. Anyway, my second one, it's a really, like, it's not underground, I would say. It's just, I don't think it's popular.
It's an exclusive.
It's the Smokey got into the nacho cheese. And it's a picture of a cat with nacho cheese all over his face.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he's just drenched. And cats don't breathe out of their mouth, but I think his nose is covered by nacho cheese. So he's just got this big gaping mouth going, probably gasping for air or something. That poor cat. I hope he's okay, because that's such a funny freaking photo. And oh my god, I love it so much.
Poor cat.
Another meme that I really like is the old man where he has a frog. Did you see that one where he goes, "Ha ha! Look at this."
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, come on! I've had to send that to you. Maybe it was blocked or something. All right, but those are my meme choices, and the Yee monster. Na 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 na. Wah wah. Ba 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 ba. So fucking funny. Oh my god, my cheeks hurt so bad now.
Ending on a really, really high note.
Yeah. Which note is it ending at? Oh. Yee! All right. Well, this is a fun first podcast. I'm glad we...
Definitely. Thanks for listening to us literally blow bubbles.
Yeah, literally just talk shit about everything, dude.
Yeah.
We were just talking about a bunch of crap. I don't know. We got to come up with a whole new idea for our next episode. I think, you know what we should do? We should end every episode in a meme. We should talk about a meme at the end of every episode.
All right. Easy. The meme of the week.
The meme of the day. Meme of the week. Yeah, meme of the week. I like that. But yeah, this was fun. I hope someone watches.
Cool.
If someone's interested in us or wants to hear anything about our stupidity. What, you're interested in us or they're interested in you?
No, probably me being interested in us.
Oh.
I'll watch it.
Over and over and over.
I'll get us the views.
All right, I belched.
And that's how it is.
All right. Well,
catch you later.
This was fun. Catch you on the flippity flip. We're popping out. We're peacing out. Becca's done like 8 different little hand signals to be like, Kyle, let's end the podcast.